Good try to get it here with Walton. Bielfeldt slips. Walton. Chapman hoists the three.
And it's good. Welcome back to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad. I'm your host, Rizwan, and we're in the home stretch now. How did Dr. Strange say it? We're in the end game now. Welcome back, Shep. Good to have you.
I have not yet seen that movie. You're shocked, I know.
How long have you known me? Have I ever been at a loss of words? What?
I got comic book movie fatigue.
Okay. I don't know at what point you started the fatigue, but you need to watch. If just watch the Infinity War and Endgame, nothing else. But actually, at the risk of sidetracking our conversation, look, there's no doubt. I'll be the first one. I don't want to be a Marvel homer. The whole Infinity Saga with the 21 movies, really, really well done, and it culminated in a great movie. Not just a great comic book movie, but a great movie. But since then, Marvel has been floundering. They've been hit or miss. They'd make something good and then something terrible. I think they erred on the side of just flooding the market. Maybe they overestimated their the demand for their content. Right? They flooded the market, just content after content, shows, movies, whatever, and not much was hitting. The Thunderbolts is a very, very well done movie.
I think I stopped after Iron Man 3.
Oh, you stopped way back. You didn't even watch the Avengers, the first Avengers? No, that was after Iron Man.
Yeah, I watched the first Avengers.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch anything after Iron Man 3, I don't think.
I mean, look, some of those entries weren't great. Thor Ragnarok was good. It was the departure, the move that they made from serious. I mean, they realized that second Thor was terrible. But the pivot to more comic, and just to be able to, I mean, I guess nobody really thought that Hemsworth could have comic timing and whatnot, but Ragnarok was really, really good. But you should just skip everything else, find the time, watch Infinity War and Endgame. But regardless, the Thunderbolts is really well done. Tackles depression and head on. I mean, it was surprising. I knew a little bit about the Sentry. I knew a little bit about the history of the Thunderbolts, and I knew what they were. Sorry, I knew who they were going to involve, which characters in the movie, but didn't know a whole lot about what the movie was going to be about, and it was pleasantly surprising. Not a very uplifting movie, but tackling a hard topic head on and doing a good job.
A whirl, but I just didn't like the general stories. I'll digress. We're back.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, we're in the end game, and now we've spent 3 of those end game minutes discussing end game. Let's look at the spotlight shining brightly on the college basketball courts. We haven't really talked much about it. I know you and I are always going to look at sports through the lens of Mississippi State. Not a great season for MSU.
That team has just been bad.
Yep, and it's surprising how hit or miss Hubbard is, right?
Yeah, Hubbard, and so Chris Jans he's known as a defensive coach, but our defense has been awful this year.
It has. even last
I don't know
night.
if they
So
just missed all their portal evaluations, or what, or if he needs to be a developmental coach, which is hard in the portal era, right?
yeah,
But our defense is just bad, and our offense has always been a grind under him. Okay, like his nickname is the dentist among the fans because of how hard he tries to make it for opposing teams' offenses. But look, I'm not saying get rid of him or anything, but his roster construction and the team just hasn't played this well this year. And he's very honest about it. He's like, yeah, we haven't played, but we got the win yesterday.
we did in Oxford, and hanging 90 on Ole Miss is always pleasant to watch. So big win, knocked them back in the standings. Ole Miss now at 3-9, but again, Mississippi State is only 4-8 in SEC play, 12-13 overall. Unless they go on a serious heater, forget the dance. They're not even going to make an NIT.
No, we were bad in the non-conference play too.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, look, 4-8, right? So we were 8-5 in non-conference. And for those of you who don't know, SEC teams, the non-conference play is, especially for the bottom ones, the top SEC teams will play the Dukes and the Michigans and those guys, but the bottom teams like MSU, it's going to be, it's supposed to be those multi-directional schools that are supposed to give you easy wins. Although I'm looking at our schedule now, I'd forgotten we did play at Iowa State and lost.
We played we've lost every consequential.
Yeah, we played at Kansas,
and we lost a couple more too.
It's actually So I'm looking at this. It's actually not as bad a schedule as I would have thought. So North Alabama, yes.
So we lost to SMU. We lost to San Francisco.
Kansas State,
to K-State and Iowa State. I mean, those are K-State. Okay, but we got blown out by K-State. Got blown out by Iowa State.
Yeah.
Close losses to New Mexico. Close loss to SMU. Close loss to San Francisco. But you got to do better.
You gotta.
In the league, we started out 2-0. Beat Texas and Oklahoma. Turns out neither one of those are pretty good. Then we lost 5 straight. Kentucky, Alabama, Ole Miss at home, A&M, and Vanderbilt. And Ole Miss and A&M. I mean, the Ole Miss loss was close, but A&M's not a great team.
Yep.
They're 7
and lost by 20.
But they blew us out. Vanderbilt is a good team. They blew us out. Kentucky blew us out. Alabama blew us out. And then you got beat close relatively by Missouri, blown out by Arkansas, not competitive against Tennessee, you beat Ole Miss. So, I mean, Auburn's not great. We'll see how we do against them. South Carolina's bad. Alabama will pull us out. Missouri will beat us again. Florida will beat us again. And
Georgia's a toss-up.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We might get 2 or 3 more league wins. That's about it.
I mean, in order to even hope, they need to not lose another game, and that ain't happening. Maybe if they win, what do they have? 6 games left. Maybe with 16 wins, they can sniff the NIT. But trying to win 4 out of these 6, they would have to beat Missouri. I think they beat Auburn. That's at home. I think they win at South Carolina. Yeah, lose to Alabama. They've got to beat Missouri. They've got to beat Missouri and Georgia to even have a chance. Otherwise, it's going to be a completely lost season, not just a semi-lost season. But hey, I don't want us to just focus on our team. Let's talk about what's been happening in the college basketball season overall. And Arizona, up until the last 6 days, was dominating. They were just looking like running away with it, and then they've lost 2 straight since then. Close games. But yeah, so it's at the top. It's the usual suspects: Arizona, Michigan, Duke. By the way, the aforementioned Iowa State is now at number 5 in the rankings. So
but they're a good team.
they are. They're a really good team. But in the middle, the UConn, right? A couple of surprises. One that is no longer really a surprise because they've been good for a while now. Houston sitting at 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're really well run program.
Yep. And then Nebraska sitting at 7.
That's a shocker to me.
Yes.
That is an ahistorical ranking. Good for long suffering Nebraska basketball team.
Where did this come from? What did they? I mean, it's their defense, right? It's
not the most neutral friendly form of basketball. Okay, it's kind of like, to draw an analogy to soccer, when you've got a team that basically relies only on the counterattack and soaks up pressure, makes it a very boring game. They have 1 or 2 chances that they convert to draw or win. It makes it maybe not the most fun game to watch for somebody else, but maybe an effective, efficient way to get points on the board on the table.
Well, yesterday they beat Northwestern 68-49. Is that defense again, as I mentioned. But if you look at the last 5 games, at Michigan, lost. It was close. It was very close, but lost. Lost at home to Illinois, and then lost at home in overtime to Purdue. Are we starting to, is this a trend? Is this the team starting to normalize and we might see more losses? Because they were 20-0 before that first loss at Michigan, right? But now all of a sudden, after the last 5, they're sitting at 22-3. Is this one of those, they just went on a heater and we're starting to see the cracks in the armor, and this is just going to multiply and we're going to watch them lose like at Iowa or lose at USC? Or do you think they...
because they didn't play the greatest non-conference schedule, right?
Yep.
They played decent, but they, it's the old college football thing. They ain't played nobody, Paul.
Yeah.
But they had a couple of good wins, though. Michigan State's a good team. Now, that was a 58-56 win.
Yep.
Right? So they beat Illinois 83-80. We'll see. But, look, they're winning a lot more than they ever have.
They are. I think if they can correct the course here and win some, this could be, you've never seen Nebraska like this, right? They could be a top 2, maybe a 3 seed, depending upon what they do. They could be a 2 seed if they do what they're supposed to do, because I'm looking at the results so far. They should win at Iowa. They should beat Penn State, probably beat Maryland, maybe lose to USC, and UCLA has been hot and cold. So I can see them losing to them and then beat Iowa.
Talk about a program that's fallen off the map.
They have in most sports, not just in a sport, in general.
Good school though.
It is. All right. So that one really, really surprised me. And, other than that, as I said, it's the usual suspects, even below them. Kansas, after they're starting to make a comeback, and that victory over Arizona is going to help matters. Absolutely. Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga. It's the usual suspects. Not a whole lot of, after that record showing by the SEC last year, what do they have?
That's not going to get repeated this year.
Yeah. What do they have? 10? 11?
Wait, I thought there was 13 teams.
Was it 13?
Yeah. And we didn't do super great in the conference.
We did not.
Attorney.
We did not. And I think SEC will be lucky to get 5 teams. And you've got Florida, you've got Tennessee. Kentucky looks like they've fixed things and they're on the right path now. Vanderbilt, of course, and then Arkansas, and I can't think of anybody else. All right, so probably going to be a lost season, but hey, sometimes I welcome that. Maybe that's trying to make lemonade with lemons, right? But I welcome being able to watch a sport without having any rooting interest at all. Just actually enjoying the sport for the purely for the sport and for the analysis. So maybe that's what we're going to be doing come March Madness in a few short weeks. All right. Well, that is college basketball, and I think, yeah, I was trying to see if I wanted to get a couple of plugs in, but that's cool. We will move on to the. Yeah, I don't want to. I think it's way too early. In about 2 weeks, I want to go through the whole bracket prediction and whatnot. Um, One thing I want to do as we go into the last 10 minutes. Where are we? Here we go. Yeah, let's swivel the spotlight real quick.
Mills looking end zone, back shoulder to Dell.
He got it.
Bobbling.
He got it.
And maintaining. Touchdown, Houston.
You're going to see him make the catch.
Bobbling, maintaining. Yeah, we're on to the NFL.
Oh, yeah, there was that game last week.
There was a game. There was a game last Sunday. Look, it did not go very differently than how you and I had seen, how we had talked about, all of that, right?
We had identified the offensive line problems for the Patriots. You were more correct about the score because I thought that there was going to be some mistakes made by Seattle, which there were, but they just weren't like they were not bad enough that the New England Patriots defense could take advantage of them. So, I mean, look, Darnold did not have a good game.
He did not.
He just didn't throw disastrous picks. So that's why the game was a blowout.
Yep. Look, ultimately, it was the trenches, right? I mean, Seattle's offensive line was able to play really well. I hesitate to use the D word because that is reserved for the Seattle defensive line, who dominated, absolutely dominated, maybe destroyed. The second D word, the Patriots O-line. I mean, they just never had a chance.
No, he was. Look, I think Campbell's been playing hurt since his injury. Okay, but it was actually painful for me to watch.
It was terrible.
We identified it beforehand. Like his pressure rate was awful, and he gave the highest pressure rate allowed by any left tackle in an NFL game this season in the Super Bowl.
Yep, bad time to have the worst game of the season.
Yes, and I think it's because he's not healthy. I mean, he wasn't super awesome before the injury, but man, after his injury, it was November or whatever.
Yeah.
It was really bad. And the left guard wasn't great either.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, this is supposed to be their foundation on the offensive line, right? And they both sorry, they both played badly, and that was that. I mean, the way if a defense is going to dominate you like that, this is what happened with the Bucks and the Chiefs a few years ago, right? It doesn't matter if you've got an all-time great quarterback. If you're getting pressure like that,
with the Chiefs and the Eagles. I mean, look, what my bigger question is, how do you make the Super Bowl with a line that flawed?
That's where I would like to toot my own horn. What were the other things I said? I think they had. It's that easiest schedule in the world that's making all the analysts blind to the deficiencies of the Patriots. And then it's the fortuitous run in the playoffs. The fact that the fact that the refs were able to take the Bills out to give the Broncos the victory, only to have their starting quarterback get injured in the last minute, and then have a cakewalk for the Patriots. Look, Drake May had not just a bad, but a historically bad playoff run.
So I think that, look, I don't think it's Drake May that had the bad run. It's Will Campbell, right? But the weird thing to me is from a tertiary Buffalo Bills fan, why fire McDermott when he's basically a couple plays away from being in the Super Bowl?
That was dumb. That was a dumb move. That was a reactionary move. That was a we've got to do something move. And look, if this is a Tony Dungy moment, right? Then we're all going to be like, oh yeah, that was the right move. If Buffalo comes back and wins the championship next year, we're going to be like, yeah, it was the right move. But I'm saying it now. I said it when it happened. I'm saying it now. And I will say it even if the Buffalo Bills win. What is it? I'll say it again. Rizwanism. Incidental success does not prove the veracity of our actions. So I think it was the wrong move. It was a reactionary move. I hope it works out. I hope it brings a Lombardi to Buffalo. I hope that I'm watching Josh Allen lift it next year. But he's gotten you the most success since, a Hall of Famer named Marv Levy.
Yep.
There's nothing in between, right? That's it.
No, I mean, you're right. And that was a barren wasteland of a couple decades.
Yeah.
It was just awful.
It was. And he's the only thing I will allow is that over and over he's come up short in a surprisingly odd manners, right? It appears that he just can't get over the hump. But I think that's the margins of this game, right? It's that.
Yeah, I mean, so super close. I mean, and that's even the Super Bowl. I don't think the Patriots would have won, but the final score would have been a lot closer if a couple of those early Darnold balls are intercepted as opposed to tipped.
Yeah.
You know, and because he came really close to disaster.
That first one, right?
Darnold was like, we're just going to run the ball and let our defense win.
Yep.
And they did. They won. That was great. Like, I kudos to McDonald for recognizing that.
Yeah, recognizing it before it was disastrous.
Yep, and doing like, I want to win this game. You know, because they didn't win that game because of Sam Darnold.
No,
right? They won that game because of their defense.
Absolutely, and the running. I mean, Ken Walker was just a beast in the playoffs. That was almost like a Terrell Davis-like run, and consequently, that got him. He ended up being the first running back to be Super Bowl MVP since Terrell Davis.
Yep.
But it wasn't just the Super Bowl. Like Ken Walker had an all-time playoff run. Charbonnet. I mean, I hope people remember all season. So coming into the season, I was high on Ken Walker. I actually nabbed him in a lot of leagues, and he burned me, or not he, but the coaching, because I didn't think, in spite of how well Charbonnet had played toward the end of the previous season, I did not think, as good as Walker is, I thought it was going to be a 70-30 split, not a 50-50 split. But as it turned out, it turned into a 50-50 and plus the goal line work going to Charbonnet. So it absolutely wrecked a couple of my teams where I was counting on a round 5, round 6 steal to be a second Javonte Williams for me. If I
have never had good luck with my running back selections. Like whenever I've gone big in our league, they've either gotten hurt or the team has been awful. So they stopped running the ball at halftime.
Yep.
The closest I've actually come, I think, was this year with Kyron Williams.
Yeah.
He was the workhorse for the Rams, and he wasn't a superstar. He was just good.
He was solid.
Yeah. I mean, I think way back in the late '90s, I had Robert Smith on the different fantasy league for the running back for the Vikings. But that was a
homer.
Consistent, running back success I had.
Yep. So
if I'm in a bidding war with you for a running back, back out. Let me win because I'm making the wrong decision.
All right. Well, Ken Walker, I knew how good he was. I think he just didn't have the opportunity. And unfortunate as it is, the injury to Charbonnet in the first playoff game really presented that opportunity.
Yeah.
And Ken, to excuse the pun, ran away with it. Just absolutely grabbed it and ran away with it, all the way to not just a Lombardi trophy, but a Super Bowl MVP trophy. So congrats to the Seahawks. Congrats to Michael McDonald.
McDonald, yeah.
Yeah, almost said McDaniel. Kudos to Sam Darnold for being the first from the class of 2018.
Yeah.
To win. He was the highest picked quarterback. Looked like he was in the wasteland of football with the Jets for a number of years. Looked like he was going to go
rehabilitated by the Shanahan tree.
He did, absolutely. So kudos to all involved, but most importantly, personally, I really enjoyed the Patriots getting destroyed. But no, I mean, look, I'm not one of those who take joy out of someone else beating my rival. I want my team to beat my rival. I want the Buffalo Bills to be that. And I firmly believe if the refs had not, I don't want to make it a ref thing. If the fortune had not made those 1% plays against them, I think they would have beaten the Patriots and would have gone to the championship. All right, I am way over time. Gotta run. Shep, always a pleasure. Great Super Bowl run, and we'll talk on next Sunday.
All right.
All right, thank you. You've been listening to the Sports Spotlight. Here we go.